Hope you're having a good morning. Today is June 2nd already, man. That's crazy. June 2nd. And this is kind of a follow-up to the video I released yesterday, the second video from yesterday about Crunchyroll. Except in this video, we're going to be talking about more than just Crunchyroll. We got Crunchyroll, Funimation, and good old Rooster Teeth. We'll be talking about those companies in this video. Before we get started, let me just mention, this is a tough topic for me to cover. I am not going to tell you how to feel about this topic. I'm not going to tell you what you should or should not do with this topic. I'm simply going to talk about the companies that I just mentioned because they're related to anime, and I think these companies can do better. In this video, I'm going to explain why that is and elaborate on what they can do, at least in my very humble opinion. Get some coffee. I'll see you in about 10 seconds. Welcome back. So I mentioned that this would be somewhat of an extended version slash follow-up of a video I released yesterday. I'm going to try to do better in this video because I certainly could have done better yesterday, but I would still like to just disclaim that this is a rough topic for me to discuss, and please bear with me. I still, even though I'm going to try to do better in this one, I still don't think this will be my best work, but I'll try to make this at least a decent video with points that are easy to follow along, hopefully. Starting with GameWizard02, thank you for the tag, buddy. So GameWizard02 sent me this tweet, and it has a couple screenshots. We have Rooster Teeth, Funimation, and Crunchyroll, and they are all talking about this current issue going on in the world. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to think about that. I'm going to criticize these companies for two main reasons. Reason number one, I think these companies can do a lot more than simply making a tweet. I think that people get taken advantage of by companies like this. Whenever there's some sort of social issue going on in the world or some sort of controversy, you see companies coming out virtue signaling to people with a tweet. But in actuality, what are they doing to help people who are suffering from said issue? What are they doing to help real victims, real people in need? Absolutely nothing most of the time. Most of the time, they just make that tweet and then they move on. They want to bolster the goodwill. They want to get more sales. They want to get more support. And that's why they come out with these takes on Twitter. I don't think that they are sincere with the takes. I think they simply want to seem like they are because they want business. They want people to support their business. I'm going to show you a very short clip that I showed at the end of my last video because I want to clarify that I'm not just some dude sitting here criticizing these companies saying that they should do more when I'm not doing anything to help people either. The fact is, I have gone around LA County helping homeless people, helping victims, and helping people of all types, including minorities. Do you want that? That's all we have. But
Time.
hopefully that helps out a little bit, man. So what was going on there is my buddy and I, we had made a bunch of different kits to give out to help homeless people. So we went around to different neighborhoods where the homeless population is unfortunately very high all around LA County. For example, that clip was from Santa Monica Pier. And we went around giving these kits to people. Some of them actually didn't want the kits. Some of them did. But the fact is, we were out there going around helping people. Now, you might be wondering, why do I record it? Two main reasons. And I don't always record it when I go and do this, but sometimes I do. Because, number one, try to inspire people to also help out. You know, we can all make a difference. Literally just going out there, man, on the streets and helping out. That said, it's dangerous. Be careful. And number two, because it's dangerous is the other reason why you record it. Some of the more dangerous areas we went to, I would live stream it or record because that gives us a level of security. Having everything documented on video, that kind of, it's evidence and also dissuades people from maybe trying to do something bad to you. And that's one of the big reasons why I take umbrage with these internet social media activists who talk a lot online but don't do anything in the real world, and these companies that have way more resources than I have or individuals like you have while we're out there helping people, and these companies get to simply make a tweet. They get to make a tweet and that's it. And they get praised by certain other people on social media, these other internet activist types. They get praised for that. And then those activists actually come after people like you and me, the people that are actually helping. They come after us because we criticize companies. These same activists who act like they are anti-capitalist. And this is a repeat of the argument I mentioned in the first video, but it's still very relevant. And if you didn't see that video, well, you have to understand this stuff because it's so insane. Imagine going out, helping homeless people, victims, and minorities, and criticizing giant companies, and then having the activists going after you and trying to get you in trouble by labeling you things that are lies, all these isms and other things. It is insane. Now, before I tell you the second criticism I have for these companies, just to be sure we're on the same page, the first criticism is the they can do more thing. The second one I'll mention in a moment. But first, let's finally take a look at these tweets. I've been leaving you guys hanging on that for so long. I apologize. Again, it's a very rough topic for me because I'm so split on this topic. I don't like bringing these political themes to my channel. I really don't. And I understand a lot of people don't want that. And I don't want to do that either. I mean, a lot of what I talk about is trying to keep politics out of entertainment. On the other hand, as you've seen, as someone who actually goes around trying to help people and trying to make their local communities a better place, I do take umbrage with the kind of stuff I see online from these companies and these other types. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one. I really am. So I'm kind of finding a middle ground. I released the Crunchyroll video yesterday. I'll do this video today, and then I'm probably done with this topic. I'm probably not going to talk about it again. So it is what it is. Let's take a look at these tweets. Rooster Teeth says, there is no community without unity. We stand with our black friends, family, coworkers, and community members against racial inequalities and injustice. Please support organizations that work to advance social justice, including a bunch that they link here. My question to Rooster Teeth, what are you guys doing to support those organizations? Are you doing anything to support them, or are you just making a tweet? Really easy to make a tweet, a lot more difficult to do real work. Funimation says, we believe in our anime community and the rights of those in our community, and we believe that Black Lives Matter. And Crunchyroll says, you probably already saw this one if you saw the video yesterday, Crunchyroll says, there is no anime community without black fans, cosplayers, artists, and storytellers. We will not remain silent in the face of systematic racism and stand with the black community, stand with the black members of our community. Let's channel our passion and inspire change. Black Lives Matter. Again, let me emphasize, I am not making any comment on these takes. I'm simply pointing out that these companies can do a lot more than simply tweeting. And the second criticism is coming up. So now we are hopefully all on the same page with these tweets. We've seen the tweets. We have the first criticism out of the way, and let's move on. The second criticism is where this gets complicated because, as you probably know, we have a thing here on this channel. And that thing is that we don't want politics being shoved into our entertainment. For anyone new, if there is anyone new here, let me make this very clear, because some people like to misrepresent what this means, and to be fair, some people don't understand what it means, although I have absolutely seen some people completely intentionally misrepresenting this. Saying that we don't want politics in anime does not mean that we don't want in-universe politics in anime. For example, take Full Metal Alchemist. The politics in FMA is fine, because it all makes sense in universe. They need those politics to make sense of the world, the story, and move things along for the plot and all that sort of stuff. There's a vast difference between having in-universe politics for the sake of having a good story and a good show, and what some of these companies like Funimation are doing, where they take real current political issues. They then take a very objective stance on said issues and put that into the entertainment in a way that seems like they are blatantly trying to change the viewer's perception on said issues. It is beyond scummy to take advantage of intellectual property and viewers in said way. So you can see, adding those two criticisms together, that we are at somewhat of a crossroads here. On one hand, I'm saying that these companies can do more than simply making a tweet if they really care about these issues. On the other hand, I'm saying that a lot of people don't want to hear about real political issues and controversies from entertainment companies, especially entertainment companies, because people turn to entertainment for escapism, and that doesn't mean that those same people don't care about these issues. They may not. The fact is, the world is a crazy place, and it's very common for people to turn to entertainment mediums to escape that madness before they return to it once again. So when those companies are then forcing those politics down your throat too, what do? You go crazy. Now let's walk back to the crossroads thing, because we might be at the crossroads, but those crossroads have a path that is opened up and that we can see. And here is my opinion, what we can do here, what these companies should do here. And I wish they would listen to me. They tend not to. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in so that I'm not just talking to the wind. Unfortunately, they don't listen, but at least I can speak my mind on this stuff. So I truly appreciate you all. Thank you very much for being here. My suggestion to them is, if they truly care about these issues, I would advise them to do something to help said issues while not dragging their community. Actually, let me rephrase that. While not throwing their community into the fire. Okay? The way to do that is you don't make a tweet. The tweet does almost nothing for the issues that you're pretending to care about. You can do better. At the same time, what the tweet is doing is bringing this issue right onto the timeline of all the people following you. And they're following you for entertainment. So, why don't you stick to entertainment? And if you companies out there really care about these issues, then why don't you do something behind the scenes, like a charitable donation or something like that? Why don't you use your own resources to support the organizations and stuff that you're asking other people to support? No. You go take your time and your resources and you support them. How dare you simply make a tweet asking your community to support these things and you do nothing more? I'm looking at some of the counter arguments that some of these Rooster Teeth white knights have, and let me just emphasize that 99% of the time, these are people who claim to be activists and anti-capitalists, yet when we criticize these companies and say they can do better, they come after us. What does that really tell you? And I know I'm repeating myself, but it needs to be said. Every time it needs to be said. Put these people on blast for their hypocrisy. Now, I'm not saying this Peter guy is specifically like that, but I am saying 99% of the time, the RT White Knights tend to be that way. So let's take a look at this tweet. Peter says, they're currently broadcasting the Rooster Teeth podcast live for free. The context, by the way, is someone basically saying that, yeah, Rooster Teeth, you go make a donation then. So Peter says once more, they're currently broadcasting the Rooster Teeth podcast live for free and talking about privilege and ways to support the movement through donations and action. So none of this is Rooster Teeth actually making donations. And I've seen other RT White Knights saying, oh, well, individuals around Rooster Teeth have made donations. Okay, that's still not Rooster Teeth. Those are individuals taking money out of their own pocket. If Rooster Teeth wants to make a tweet, why don't they take some of their corporate revenue, some of their corporate profits, and go ahead and make that donation? Seems like they're not doing that. Even this guy is saying they're not doing that. I mean, nothing here says that they're actually making a donation. And as a matter of fact, this is the complete opposite of the advice I have given. Not that I'm saying RT has heard my advice, obviously. This is going on before this video is even out. And as I've said already, these companies don't listen to me anyways. But the point is, here we have the worst of both worlds. Rooster Teeth is still not doing anything to actually support these issues, it seems, in the real world. And on top of that, they are then making content about it, bringing this issue to their viewers and ruining the escapism more. Good job, Rooster Teeth. Is that working out for you so well? I mean, you could say that it is, but it seems like it's not. Sure, some of your community loves this fake activism, as I've already acknowledged. 99% of the RT White Knights seem all about this stuff. Oh, we don't like capitalism, but we love Rooster Teeth, and we love Twitter, a public company that's on the stock market and is worth billions of dollars, market cap. Yeah, you guys are so fake. And while companies like Rooster Teeth might have the support of these phony activists, they have pushed away the support of everybody else, including the people like you and me who actually are making a difference in the world. Imagine that. We see right through them, man. Now, Rooster Teeth does get a little leeway compared to Funimation and Crunchyroll on this one, in my opinion at least, because they do have something pretty cool called Rooster Teeth Extra Life. And, well, let's just take a look at this. So Extra Life is a Children's Miracle Network Hospital's fundraising program that rallies gaming communities from around the globe to support local children's hospitals. Their game day unites thousands of gamers around the world to marathon their favorite games in support of their CMN, hospital of choice. And just like traditional marathons, gamers and streamers are sponsored by their friends and family to raise money for their campaigns. For us, that's where the Rooster Teeth community comes in. Our focus over the past 5 years, RT has facilitated the donation of $5 million to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I'm not trying to discount this. This is a great thing. But we have to acknowledge the facts. This is not Rooster Teeth donating $5 million. This is Rooster Teeth facilitating the donation of $5 million over the 5-year period here. Okay? So it's still a very big difference from RT taking that money out of their own assets and making that donation. They facilitated it. I'm not going to discount that. Through RT's work with their event, they have, with their community, raised this money. That's what's going on here. So it's a great thing they're doing. Let's just get the facts straight. And getting the facts straight involves taking a look at the historical data. And historically, the data isn't looking good right now because for the first time ever, Rooster Teeth has actually raised less money than the year before. Take a look at this. 2010, 15,000. 2013, 185,000. 2014, 442,000. 2015, 569,000. 2016, 895,000. 2017, 1.2 million. 2018, 1.4 million. That's all been raising. 2019, 1.2 million. From 1.4 million down to 1.2 million. Why in 2019 has Rooster Teeth raised less money through the help of their community than they had for the previous X number of years? I think at that point, and everything else you see with Rooster Teeth, the declining interest on Ruby through Google Trends, etc., more and more people unhappy with the direction of the company, and this as well, the charity suffering. I think at this point there is certainly an issue with Rooster Teeth, and it would be nice to see them, make steps towards actually getting those issues resolved and becoming the company that people once loved and knew. Not what they have now, a former shell of itself that's ruled by their corporate overlords. And again, I don't feel bad for Rooster Teeth for that. Some of their white knights will use that as some sort of excuse. Well, the bad direction of Rooster Teeth isn't their fault. It's their overlord's fault. No. Let me stop you there. Rooster Teeth willingly decided to sell their souls to said overlords. So you can't feel bad for them. If you do, I'm going to call you out for being disingenuous or just not knowing what's going on. There's probably more stuff I could talk about with all this, man. What a mess this whole all is. But honestly, I'm done. I'm done with this topic, man. I'm so over this. This is, again, probably the last video I'll make on this topic. And we'll leave it at that. I don't have any shout outs yet, my friends. The last video came out about an hour ago. Went right to recording this longer version, hopefully a better version for the morning. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. Tiring stuff, man. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't bum any of you out, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll be back to normal content coming up. So thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.